Greetings, Ao2 viewers and other viewers. This will be part of exhibit number 2 concerning the series of hacking incidents I've been subjected to since the past week. That is exactly since the 10th of June 2024, where while playing this game in multiplayer, doing ranked 1v1s, I get forcefully ejected from the gameplay while playing the game by the opponent's malicious hacking actions, or where I get forcefully disconnected while playing such games by opponent's hacking actions, where I also get forcefully lagged by opponent's malicious actions during gameplay, and eventually, in some cases, also amounting to forced disconnections after some time, also as a result of opponent hacking actions. And there are also cases of, for example, the game is about to start. I press ready and everything, and I get forcefully disconnected before the actual game starts. That is, while you see the actual after you press I'm ready in this game, when you're actually matchmaking, those who know this game, you are transported to a screen like a preloading screen where you see your civilization for the game and the opponent's civilizations for the game. And I was transporting, and in such a case, I was transported into a screen like that, where the screen keeps like uh, eternally there for 2 minutes, where opponent has a ticking mark, and I continue to like stay there idle. And after 1 minute or 2 minutes, I get a message like saying, you have been disconnected, getting back to the main menu. And these are a series of hacking incidents which have the result of not just disrupting my gameplay and are very annoying, but they also are damaging. Their objective is to subtract and steal my elo. Every time I am subjected to such malicious hacking or malicious cheating, that forces me to be either ejected from gameplay or forces me to be disconnected by opponent's actions during the gameplay, my elo is subtracted and it is stolen for the hijacker. So the hijacker, the hacker, gets the elo after his crime, so to speak. And I'm just placing these as exhibits, so first people actually understand that these things happen. They have no legitimacy saying that things like hacking do not happen. They happen. They're happening very intensively, and I've been very harshly persecuted. Uh, since there is little I can do, the one thing I can do at least is expose, 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 which I will be exposing. And maybe I'm not the coolest kid in the block. Maybe I'm not the youngest, coolest YouTuber, etc., etc. Well, at least I'm not a clown, and I think that should warrant enough credibility for the things I post and say. And I will be posting this video as part of exhibit number 2 into the YouTube channel because more than likely, because this has already been happening since the past week, we have been subject to 1v1's continuous harassments. Well, and this is a form of bullying and cheating and obviously should not be allowed. We have posted already exhibit number 1, but due to transparency issues, it'll be a bit more complicated to see the games. However, you will see the 2 games, at least in 3 games posted yesterday. That is in exhibit number 1, you will see that game number 2 and in game number 3, we were forcefully disconnected by hijacking actions made by opponents. Now, if you don't want to see it, that is your problem. And if you see it and pretend it doesn't happen, it is also your problem. We are just continuing here our operations. This is a game where before the past week we were playing, and now we are just completely unallowed to play it by some uh, scumbag proxies. I believe this is kind of like cyber warfare. We're being targeted. They know that we are kind of good in this game, so they try to disrupt us and cancel us in game. And this is obviously Probably something done by third parties or maybe even by other states. I don't know. It's the internet is a big world, and it's not the regular person and the regular streamer who is also using the internet. This is just a heads up, a warning, and a wake-up call for those who insist in living in a denial of reality. So here we go in our exhibit March here. We're being very objective. Now we're acting like as referees or as arbiters, or as sort of officers, and we'll see how this goes. Before this session started, we did 2 matches offline just to check if these hacking incidents took place without our streaming engine activated, and they still took place. So we are completely sure that this is not, it does not necessarily have to coincide with our streaming activities. So they're constantly harassing us. They see us that we're in game, and our profile is being systematically targeted and harassed nonstop. Obviously, I don't agree with that. I think that's criminal activity, and the hackers, harassers, who are subtracting my elo through forced disconnections and forced game ejections, forced lagging, they all should actually be banned, obviously, and they should be prosecuted, for illicit activities, assuming that they're overage, and even if they're not, well, something can be done about it. I don't know what kind of prosecution offices are there in the countries, where Ao2 engines are established, but it is the duty of any legal offices established in terms of cybernetting activities to intensively track down, and hunt down the very responsibles to disrupt either streaming activities, gameplay activities, and normal playing activities. So anyone who is disrupting that, creating damage either for the companies, for Ao2, for Xbox, for the platforms, for the gamers, for the streamers, they should all be prosecuted and held accountable. And this is obviously harassment in public light and crime in public light. And one thing I like to say, you cannot hide three things which are the sun, the moon, and the truth. The sun, the moon, and the truth. We repeat those because some people tend to have like hearing problems and they cannot understand the real value of these things. Continue to hide the sun or the moon or the truth, and you will only get baffled by it even more. That's what I keep saying. This will be part of exhibit number 2. We'll be doing now this first game, and actually after the first game, before the game starts, we say end game is about to start, and after that game outcome, if it results in a forced disconnection made by opponent or a forced lagging made by opponent, we will report it, specifically in the chat lines. And eventually I will be adding those comments, in the description of the video. And I'm sure this will be one of many more exhibits, another more exhibits. And it's my way to fight against the harassment, the disgusting form of attack that I've been subjected, because I don't back down, and I will be fighting those. And anyone who is accomplice with that, well, at least you'll have to be hunted down. Okay, this is criminal activities, and if you commit crimes, well, you should be held accountable for it. First game about to start. And now we'll see, I'll press I'm ready. I'd like to be in the form of a gamer here, but I'm forced to be in the form of kind of like an officer, an overseeing officer. Also to inform that as a result of these forced disconnections, I've been subjected to at least to 200 elo points subtraction. Not 10, not 1, not 2, 200 elo points subtraction. because of forced ELO disconnections. If you don't want to believe, there's the exhibits that prove how these incidents take place, and even after those evidences so straight, clear, and forward presented to you, you still insist in not believing, then I'm sorry, clowns are over there, clowns are everywhere, and I'm not responsible for the clowns who think that everyone is a clown. That's it. So that is why I present the evidence to give transparency about these gaming issues. And remember, this is a statement of fact. It's not an opinion. It's not about if I think I am disconnected. I know I was forcefully disconnected, and I don't need people to tell if that was just an impression. It's not an impression, it's a statement of fact. And I seriously don't like the people who play this game with the objective to just harass others in terms of online activities. Harassment is harassment. If you decide to harass someone, you know, stopping him from gaming, stopping him from doing his online activities, that's obviously harassment. So while there are cowards out there who could be bluffing in their computer desks, the so-called keyboard warriors, the society is moving towards tracking them down and being increasingly more non-tolerant and increasingly more, how you say, punitive towards these scoundrels. And they should not take pride in the kinds of actions they have been undertaking. You know, there is no safe place. There will be a time where hacking will not have any safe place, either offline or online. You know, I have to describe that these acts of forcefully disconnecting your opponent and forcefully making him lose Elo is absolute cowardness and should warrant instant ban not just from the player, but from any entity who decides to associate with that. You know, if you decide to... It's like boycotting a gamer's activities or any person's normal activities online. Vote number 2. Just increasing lighting. Yeah, okay, got escaped. Well, I didn't escape housing, but it was just 2 seconds. It's not that big. For those who also want to know, I talk in my YouTube videos about the problem of the rigging in the yellow ladder that is currently taking place in this game due to Smurf accounts. A Smurf account, for those who do not know what a Smurf account is someone who pretends to be of a certain gaming skill and in fact is a much higher gaming skill. For example, let's say every time we're playing in 1v1s in this game, everyone starts with a certain number, rank, and what happens is that the Smurf artificially deflates this number in order to make him look as a weaker opponent. But the problem is, such player will play with the best of his abilities. It's a bit more complicated, but let's assume I start playing this game and I create a profile. What happens is that you create a profile, and normally a person should be able to create one profile, right? One profile per person. But instead, what happens in this game is that you can create several profiles per person. And you already can see the risk of what this can entail, which is, for example, you try to play a game. Every time you play a game and you win, you get elo points. Okay, normal conditions. What happens is that the so-called professional players, especially the professional players who use the Smurf accounts, but I don't say it's all the professional players, it's just a practice. What they do is they create, for example, they continue to work and they continue to win games using one main profile. Let's call it the official profile. And they can create 10, 20, 30, 50, and more profiles, for lower ranked elos. That is, they will actually play games in those profiles, but they will make those games, they will force losses upon themselves. And the reason is they want to get in certain elos, so they will make sure that the profiles are sniped at certain elos. I've talked about smurfing in those videos. Obviously, I know that talking about smurfing is disrupting the current gameplay, but to inform a bit about what's taking place is important. Now you can see, for example, force lagging taking place, which is not a result of my ending, but a result of opponents' hacking actions. It starts like this, and it will generally end with forceful disconnection. Now I'm going to report this individual for, let's say, harassment, of course, forced lagging during gameplay made by opponent. My internet is working fine, and if I get lagged by an opponent and forcefully disconnected, this has to be reported as an incident. So you see already that this is the first game, and I can already say I was disconnected. First game, first hacker. Now say the profile name of this hacker. The opponent forcefully disconnected me from the gameplay. And I know it disconnected me because if the game is not moving already, and this has been the usual practice since 1 week. Every time I start, after like a few minutes of gameplay, and these 13 minutes are not real gameplay, so it should be like 5 or 6 minutes, I get forcefully disconnected. What happens is that after the forceful disconnection, I get back again and I've lost 13 or 16 elo points as a result of the forced disconnection made by the hacking opponent. And I made this because first, you probably would not believe it if I would not post it. I have been forcefully disconnected by the player's hacking actions, and no, I don't want to restore that. And obviously my elo was subtracted, as you can see. You also can see that this player is definitely a hacking account because he doesn't have a lot of gameplayed, and with total impunity is able to matchmake me snipe me on my elo and subtract me elo points as a result of forced disconnections. You can also see that this individual did not made any significant military, did not made any military units, by the way. And so you see, I was doing the whole work and he gets the full credit by forceful disconnections. These are the hacking incidents that prove that in this game, I'm being severely targeted. Now that is already looking good. So for the skeptics who thought that I would just be playing a game and I would not find any forceful disconnections, already first game, first disconnections. And I believe that if we do 10 games, we'll have 10 forced disconnections. We speak this in all straightforwardness, all coldness possible, because there is no possible gaming at this point in this game. And although I know that I'm not going to be refunded of the yellow points, at least I take great contentment in publishing the harassment and the sort of bullying and persecution I'm being subjected to here by hacking proxies. And maybe these proxies are, these hacking individuals, they're paid to snipe my games and to forcefully disconnect my games. So they could be privateers and like pirates. They could be paid like countries or indirectly like by other groups whose aim is to disrupt my gaming or online activities. It's so interesting, right? Like I could be doing clown videos, but instead I'm doing something which exposes clowns. And I think we have too many clowns already online. So once in a while, it's good to have non-clowns exposing the debauchery in which we currently are living. And because this is debauchery. Some might agree with that, I don't. And if you agree, you're not part of my group of people. Next. Second game, and to follow procedure, I will say second game about to start. So this is exactly how things operate. And I'm sure I don't have a lot of emojis and a lot of smiley faces here. I don't have, the so-called glitches and fireworks. I don't have anything immediate and, something juicy and tasty like this. I have something a bit more serious, which is I'm talking about the infrastructure and the backstage of how this game works. And, it's infrastructure that makes the world. It's not glamorous. Maybe it's not glamorous, but, in the clown world we live, the things that are not glamorous tend to be too much devalued instead, and they should be valued. They're not. So let's continue to do our inspection of activities. The videos will go to YouTube accordingly. This will be exhibit number 2, which will be published immediately after this live stream ends. Of course, with the proper delays to set this between to HD definition, but it will be there. And you can count on our willing determination to put things there because we cannot agree with these practices. And one thing at least we are happy about is that we do not give the satisfaction to the hackers that even though they steal the yellow, we are not looking for that. We are looking to expose this game activities, and we will use these as, learning lessons for those who try to make clown world. And if you would like to support my videos, you can go to YouTube and support the kind of work I'm doing, because this is work. I don't receive any courtesy, I don't receive any subterfuge or any, I'm not paid to do this. And of course, I don't take donations to do this. I don't do that. I just do this thing and, you can either support or not support. It is your choice. Everyone has its stance and everyone is responsible for the actions they take or not. I even believe that as I was attempting to make the report for the previous game, the opponent disconnected me so that I could not file the report for that incident. But no matter, at least I published the video will be published and I can issue a report later. What is important is that this will be visible in plain sight for everyone to see what's taking place in this game. Because it's very interesting to talk about evidence behind closed doors, where not everyone is seeing it or very few people know about it. And another thing is when that is in plain light for everyone to see. Exposure is not necessarily bad. In some situations, it is very much necessary, and that's what we do. I was telling about the Smurf accounts, which it's like a practice where the player artificially pretends to be of a much lower skilled gameplay, but plays with his highest gameplay skills. So for example, let's say a player named Jay wins 5,000 games, I don't know, and he gets miraculously 2k ELO. But Jay, since he's bored, or because he likes to steamroll lower ELO players, just decides to create 20 more profiles and artificially make those profiles lose 100, 200, or 300 games so they get to specific ELOs in order to matchmake either specific players on that ELO or in order to matchmake any player within that ELO. And what happens is that this J will be playing with his 20 or 30 profiles to matchmake the lower ELO players. And what will happen is that he'll be playing with his highest 2k skill gameplay in his main profile. Naturally, the players who will be facing him, assuming that they are not smurfing, they have no chance, the game will be rigged, and it'll be a corrupt game. And what happens is that these players, this G player is cheating because he knows that any opponent that is in the lower ELOs is just going to lose against him, most likely if he's not smurfing himself. Well, let's assume that is the case. We'll talk on this assumption. And if that happens, this J player will artificially rig the yellow ladder even further down for the lower ELO players. So let's assume that if these lower ELO players would not be facing a J player or any kind of J smurf, their ELO would reach like 1.1k or 1.2k. However, as a result of the forced sniping by smurfs, they're forced to artificially lose matches and have their ELO ranks artificially deflated into much lower ELOs, or they continue to go lower until they go to 0, because most of the times they're matchmade with smurfs. Now, as a result of that, these players are unable to increase in the yellow ladder, and the yellow ladder is systematically rigged down for these players. And that's obviously unfair, because these players cannot even rise into their normal game playing levels, because if a person has enough capacity to be, for example, in 1.1k and he's systematically facing 2k players in order for his ELO to go 400, 300, 200 or 0 ELO, that's obvious cheating. And I don't agree with that. It should not be allowed. It's just a form of cheating, and if you like fair plays, you simply cannot be connivant with that. Another strange thing is that the score of our opponent is not moving up very fast, and we were talking the whole time about smurfs and smurfing issues. This means that there is a plausibility that the player opponent could be exactly trying to hijack us from the gameplay by forcefully disconnecting us from the gameplay, which is exactly what has been taking place. I love talking in this cold voice because, you know, cute things are just ridiculous sometimes. Cute things are too ridiculous. The score is moving too low, so definitely the risk of a forceful disconnection risk, because these players, they are pretending to play Ao2, and in fact, they already can be working with software in order to forcefully eject the player from the game. Oops, there's a veil that died, but that's because of excessive lack of attention, because I was busy with other things. Still, in any case, it does not take away the fact that the first game was a result of Elo Steal. The first game was Elo Steal with deliberate forceful disconnection made by opponents. That is, we were forcefully disconnected by the opponent, and as a result, we got Elo points illegitimately subtracted. And even if this player is playing normally, I don't care about the exception not being the rule, because the rule has been I've been forcefully hijacked and ejected on previous games. Reason which I'm actually streaming this, that because I've seen this pattern of forceful disconnections most of the time I play. Might not happen this time, but if it happened before I stream, I will definitely be streaming for security reasons. And I don't care if eventually, if the majority of gameplays does not The problem is that I have Dark Age Scout, which is not as strong, obviously, but I have good news, and that is, once we get to Feudal Age, we'll be doing a stable. Stables? No. He's doing militia. So be it. And let's make a market. He's just going for more military. Oh my gosh. We have a Smurf. Let's go. He will lose all his military. And let's flood scouts. The problem is this guy knows where I am, and I don't know where he is. I could use my scouts, in a more dispersed fashion. What is this here? Okay. This is definitely a Smurf. I don't know what they did here. Trap? Another hill bites the dust. I think I'm just going to harass him. I'm just going to harass this guy. You are not going anywhere. Done. I got him. Oh, well. Smart. Very smart. Hey, why? Ah, that was this problem. Let's attack them before they can come too strong. They already are, obviously. It's not looking good, man. It definitely is not looking good. Normally, these games of feudal aggression, they tend to be won by opponents. Where are you going, little one? Snake light cavalry. And we're going to attack him. Let's attack. And we're going to snipe these. More light cavalry. You can have another wood line somewhere. We're not completely safe. Reichman. Let's hunt them down. And now let's get to Vils. That's a lot of Vils loss. I'm not sure what kind of army this guy intends to keep producing. I think this is already a game over for him. Oh, no, there are farms over there. What kind of opponent is this? He's annoying me as hell. Oops. Okay, I know his plan now. Finally. He was annoying as hell. He was annoying as hell. No GG's for this annoying opponent. And this was the only game where I was not stolen. I'll just say second game went without forceful disconnection incidents. Again, if it doesn't happen in the game, it doesn't invalidate or cancel the times where forced disconnections took place as a result of opponent hacking actions. And this is just something that, this game specifically does not count, but it does not invalidate what took place in the first game. And even if the next games we don't have any single forceful disconnection incident, it does not cancel the forceful disconnection we were subjected to as a result of hacking actions by the opponent player in the first game. That said, let's go for a fair game. Oops, not this. Small mistake. Absurd 79. At least we will not be talking about what smurfing is in this game. So although we had to build our two houses a bit far away, we'll find a way to recover. First dwarf found, and more pigs. Second dwarf found as well. And obviously to inform the players that, you know, to get victories, it's always sweaty, but to be forcefully disconnected by the opponent's hacking malicious actions just takes 1 second and no sweat effort. So you know what kind of effort you would like to recompensate, you know, just in case you'd be thinking, you know, how he loses so easily and how it's so difficult to win. Well, you have the answer now, because if you're forcefully disconnected, you cannot win those games. I'll get the war after this. We can actually start hunting. Yes. Boar number 1 has been hunted. At least we loom. That's something. We'll be mining, that is not mining, we'll be walling across these kind of areas. Need more wood. Go up after this. Never safe to play Arabia. Never safe. I should be doing barracks. Come on, barracks, barracks. I know. Let's cover this if there is a hole. There is. He's already up. But this guy is not joking. We're walled a bit, but we're not completely walled. What kind of creative strategies opponent can have? Wall up. Small mistake, but nothing that cannot be solved. This guy is Burmese. Scouts. And no upgrades yet. Bhutan farms are inexpensive. That's something I need to take into account. We'll probably find them. Not sure we will. but we'll try. He's got the high yield. He's going for scouts. We should commit in what? He's over there. Okay, at least I know where he is. That's a start. And he doesn't seem to be walled. Stable 2. And blacksmiths. We'll go for lumber camp number 2. See if I can raid him. I'm sure he's going up. Oh. Is he fully walled or not? Stonewall, huh? At least I'm going to harass him. Continue to spend your wood, mister. And I will be doing more scouts. Aha. Ah, I forgot about what he was doing there. Smart, smart, smart. He's probably not expecting that one. Oh, I didn't see the hole. I thought you were the smart guy in the hood. Well, only scout cavalry, but scout cavalry is better than no cavalry. We have a small little... Get him. Let's get him. We don't quit. Let's just flood him with knights. He's not expecting knights. Excellent. We're in. I think it's GG for him. Greedy little guy. That's it. Attack that. And he's booming behind. This little bastard is booming behind. Uh-oh, I lost my knights here because of this. Oh, I didn't see that. Damn it. Let's hunt down here some more vills. Oh, look who. I'm not sure that was a good decision. Now we'll have to commit to that.
Hey, ja, das ist Holzer. Holzer. Ja.
Holzer.
My God, isn't he desperate? Not sure that sacrifice is worth it. I will keep spamming more knights every single time.
Heiße? Ja. Holzer.
He thinks that he has his move, but he's not expecting for this. Now he lost too many vills. Still, he lost too many vills. He lost too many vills, man. I just need to imp, and that's it. He won't be able to recover from this.
Hey, ja. Das war.
You think you're safe, but you're not. In fact, it will only get worse.
Hey, ja. Hoe wäre? Heiße?
Why can't we go imp?
Heiße? Hoe wäre?
Oh, he's on his woodline, probably.
Hey, ja.
Finally, imping.
Ja, hauber.
This guy is definitely insane, man.
Bereite. Hoe wäre?
Why not to flood him with these things?
Hoe wäre? Hey, das ist soll. Ouvert. Ouvert.
Finally. It was absurd. It was absurd. This guy was absurd. What was he attempting to do? I mean, he lost so many vills. He was GG, obviously. It was GG. And I'd like to have normal sessions, you know, because I have not been having normal sessions due to forceful disconnections. Not the case, so I will say third game. Went without any incidents. Okay, the third game was no problem. Let's continue to go for more. So, fourth game. About to start. Okay, this will be, yeah, let's try, even if it is a race. Now let's just make a simple exercise of how things would be if I would not have had any forceful disconnections made by opponents since last week. And you probably need to add 4 plus 200 euro points because of that. You know, it's already bad to fight Smurfs, but to fight hackers who disconnect you it's just disgusting. Oh, I forgot to press I'm ready. I was not fully distracted. Mark yours.
Építkezek. Jó napot. Szolgálatára. Igen.
Ah, misclick.
Jó napot.
Gyűjtögetek.
Igen.
Gyűjtögetek.
Szolgálat.
Gyűjtögetek. Parancs. Gyűjtögetek. Igen, gyűjtögetek. Szolgálatára.
Finding the sheep is always problematic in these maps. That's one. But that's just one, that's not two.
Parancs.
Jó napot.
Elephant found. And so were the berries found.
Jó napot. Megyek. Építkezek.
Parancs.
And where are those sheep hiding? That's one.
Parancs. Igenis. Építkezek.
Jó napot. Fát vágok. Igenis. Vadászok. Szolgálat. Vadászok.
Let's go for that one.
Szolgálatára. Építkezek.
Igen, megtettem.
Back.
Megyek.
We'll have him
Szolgálat.
more like where we want it.
Igen. Azonnal. Építkezek.
Opponent is already high. Possible smurf?
Jó napot. Megyek. Értettem.
We'll see.
Fát vágok. Szolgálatára. Bányászok.
And man, like before the past week, and I thought that I'd seen it all with smurfs. And being forcefully disconnected while you're playing is actually even more disgusting than playing with just smurfs. If you smurf and hack, that's obviously even more disgusting. But those who forcefully disconnect, they're the epitome of failures.
Parancs. Igen, értettem. Építkezek.
Igen, értem.
They're the definition, the very corporization of failure. My sloppy starts are always like this. Sloppy.
Parancs. Azonnal. Érted. Vadászok. Jó napot. Vadászok. Parancs.
Igen. Építkezek.
Szolgálatára. Jó napot. Megyek. Igen, érted. Megyek.
There goes the elephant.
Igen. Igen. Azonnal. Igen. Azonnal. Megyek. Megyek. Igen. Érted. Igen. Megyek. Érted. Vadászok. Igen. Azonnal. Vadászok. Szolgálatára.
Perfect.
Szolgálatára. Igenis. Építkezek. Építkezek. Parancs. Igen. Megértettem. Fát vágok. Jó napot. Igen. Megyek. Építkezek.
Now I should go up. I know.
Építkezek.
But, that's what it is.
Jó napot. Megyek. Fát vágok. Gyűjtögetek. Fát gyűjtögetek. Fát vágok.
Igen. Fát vágok.
Igen. Azonnal. Megyek. Építkezek.
Parancs.
Parancs. Megyek.
Let's
Építkezek.
protect the wood lines.
Jó napot.
They tend to be vulnerable spots.
Szolgálat. Azonnal. Fát vágok.
Parancs. Építkezek. 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 Szolgálatára. Építkezek. Igen. Építkezek.
Jó napot. Fát vágok.
Little Wills, that's kind of like a crime in these situations. You definitely don't want that.
Parancs. Igenis. Fátvágok. Azonnal. Építkezek.
Jó nap, bányászok, bányászok, parancs, bányászok.
I also will need gold.
Szolgálattára. Gyűjtögetek, fát vágok. Igen,
Fátvágok.
jó napot, fát vágok.
Parancs. Igenis. Gyűjtögetek.
Too many building that. Not necessary.
Építkezek.
Igen, parancs, azon, megyek, fát vágok.
Jó napot. Építkezek.
Hey, I actually should have put my scout to explore.
Igen. Igenis.
Do we have a hole?
Értek.
Oh, there's a hole, there's a hole. There's a hole.
Szolgálat,
There's always a hole.
Jó napot. Igenis.
Yeah, nice, but
Építkezek.
igen, azonnal. Építkezek.
also need that. That's not shit with echo. Ooh, E2 is up.
Fát
Szolgálat.
vágok.
Jó napot. Értettem. Épít. Parancs. Igenis. Értettem. Azonnal. Bányász. Fátvágok.
Probably on the south side.
Szolgálatára.
Épít. Igen.
Parancs,
Parancs. Jó nap. Fátvágok.
And let's loom, because I don't want to jinx it.
Értettem.
Still have not found him.
építkezek.
Parancs. Az értettem. Szolgálat. Igenis. Fátvágok.
A scout, no blacksmith yet.
Jó napot.
Man, this guy has the advantage because he found me and I haven't. I'll just use double scout power. Ah! And he's loomed. Mr. is loomed.
Szolgálat. Építkezek. Jó napot. Fátvágok.
Second stable.
Építkezek.
Hope it makes sense.
Parancs.
Parancs,
What am I seeing?
megyek. Azonnal. Szolgálatára. Megyek.
Jesus Christ.
Építkezek.
It's a hole. Another hole. Another hidden hole.
Igen, gazdálkodok. Építkezek.
You see, it's like I wall everything, but still there is some sneaky spot in which they can get in. I don't think there's a hidden spot right now.
Szolgálat. Építkezek.
Igen. Azonnal.
And let's make a blacksmith.
Építkezek. Szolgálatvárok. Építkezek. Parancs. Építkezek. Jó napot. Építkezek. Parancs. Megértem. Építkezek.
Parancs, fát vágok.
Szolgálat. Építkezek. Jó napot. Igenis. Építkezek. Igen. Építkezek.
Let's raid him. Level 5 scouts. Why not actually push it for more? Am I greedy pushing for more? I also need bills. Tricky build order.
Szolgálat.
Jó nap, építkezek.
I think I might raid him with scouts. I'll use 7. Once these two come out,
Parancs.
I will raid. Uh-oh.
Igen.
another hole. And we did so well in doing this, because otherwise we would not be aware of that hole. Oh, I forgot, this guy's Vikings. This guy's Vikings. This means he has free wheelbarrow.
Igen.
Oops. Man, they's got too many.
Szolgálatára.
Építkezek.
Jó napot, parancs. Építkezek. Szolgálat. Igenis, építkezek.
Complicated. Need to attack his vills.
Igen.
Megértem.
Let's switch to another wood line,
Parancs.
because this one could be dangerous.
Jó nap, bányász.
Jó napot. Az megyek. Építkezek.
Igen, gazdálkodok. Építkezek. Szolgálat. Megértem. Értettem. Azonnal. Építkezek. Jó nap, igenis, fát vágok.
Let's certainly have more armor. More army, I mean. I'll try to attack him
Szolgálatára. Értettem.
in another side.
Igen, igen, uram.
Good.
Szolgálatára.
Well, well, well. Look at these juicy vills. Look at these juicy villagers.
Parancs.
Because you want them. And I'm going to get your stone line. See?
Jó napot.
Szolgálatára. Igen, uram.
Igen, igenis. Építkezek.
Let's hunt his backyard. Not liking this opponent.
Parancs.
Bányászok.
Parancs. Rendben, igen, rendben. Szolgálatára. Parancs. Rendben. Igen, uram.
Igen. Gazdálkodok. Építkezek. Szolgálatára. Megyek. Építkezek.
There are too many, man. There are just too many.
Igen, uram. Parancs. Szolgálat. Értettem. Igen, igen, uram. Szolgálat. Támadás. Igen. Előre. Rohan. Igen, rendben, igen, uram. Rendben, igen, rendben, igen, rendben. Parancs. Előre. Rohan.
I think I can get this fight.
Támadás! Szolgálat! Támadás! Igen, igen! Rohan! Parancs! Előre! Igen, rendben! Szolgálat! Támadás! Igen, értettem! Rohan! Parancs! Igen, értettem! Igen!
Építkezek.
Szolgálatára. Igen, rendben, igen, uram. Szolgálatára. Igen, értettem. Igen, értettem.
Igen, építkezek.
Parancs. Előre.
Light cavalry.
Szolgálatára. Igen, uram. Parancs. Igen, rendben. Szolgálat. Igen, rendben. Igen, rendben.
Well, there are skirms.
Fát vágok.
Parancs. Igen, értettem.
What kind of hole is there?
Fát vágok. Bányászok. Szolgálatára. Megyek, igen. Jó napot. Fát vágok. Parancs. Megyek azonnal. Igenis. Fát vágok. Jó napot. Építkezek. Parancs. Fát vágok.
Parancs. Szolgálatára.
That's
Szolgál. Megyek. Igen. Azonnal. Építkezek.
the problem is that he's so full of those. Oh, he resigned. He resigned probably because either he wants to keep his 50% win rate to Smurf, or because he saw that I was a too strong opponent. Now, considering my build order, the next thing would be the elite skins and the bot Camaro. And I think I would be able to counter these. With light calves, I think these will be down. Sure, you have belittled military, but my skirms, if surviving, they could deal with these, and they would be elite skirms. That was not bad. Also, the Magyars are capped civilization, understandably, so it makes sense to make scouts. Okay. The scout build order is tricky because the thing is, when you try to go feudal, you try to mass as much food as possible. I'll just say fort game normal. Normal, no incidents. But you know, anything can happen, and it already has. First game was an incident, so I could have like 1,000 games without incidents. If a single incident happens, and it did, well, that's already an incident session. It's like a stain. You understand the value of the stain? You just need one thing to just spoil it. But yeah, concerning the previous play, Vikings definitely have good archers, but against scout build order, it's kind of like difficult to fight that. Now let's just check. More games, at least a fifth. Fifth game about to start. Fifth game. Now this is 1 hour 30 session. Okay, that's certainly another game about to start. Now let's just check for the fifth game. And as usual, much blessings and have a good day wherever you are. I'm not sure this works. Like, the party thing is disrupted. Let's just wait a bit before we start again. Maybe return to the menu. Ouch, our tooth hurts. Ow. I have to go to the dentist. Yeah, there was a problem here with the queue. I also like to occasionally stream team games of Ao2 from time to time. The very thing which I'm kind of more used to. Because I believe that playing multiplayer, playing team games, especially 4-on-4s, is completely different than playing 1-on-1s. It's not the same kinds of strategies, either the short term or the meta long term game strategies. That's different. You don't have the same sort of build orders. You don't have the same strategies. Yesterday in exhibit number 1, I had at least um, three games where I was forcefully disconnected. Yeah. So far, we just had one, but it's just a word so far. Arena, arena, random or mirror sieve or specific sieve. There was this case where I'll go random. So be it. Mayans against Mayans.
I batti.
Not sure I'd like to face the Mayans. And what kind of Mayans is it? That's also the question.
I recoil.
I think I probably will not do the wheelbarrow thing because uh, the trade-off of not being able to produce fills in the early game is actually quite painful. I might go for the wheelbarrow later, but not right now. Even considering that it's cheaper for the Burgundians.
I recoil. Fra, sì. I batti.
Going for loom since, there was idle time.
recoil. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Do that.
Bati.
A veil goes for the boar and another goes for the house.
Si,
These can start preparing to get the boar when he will come.
Immédiatement. Y chasse. Y vai. Immédiatement. Y compreux. Y vai.
Let's push the boar.
Y chasse. Y vai. Y vai. Y vai. Y compreux.
Nice. Where I want him.
Bonjour. Immédiatement. Y bati. Si. Y bati.
Pretty much intuitive build order here. No big ordeals.
Vos ordres.
I cannot get these.
Bonjour. Immédiatement. Vos ordres. Immédiatement.
Fra. Y chasse.
Fra. Si vai. Y compreux.
They'll get the boar here once they get near the mill. It's not the ideal drop-off point, but you know, it's close. That will work. Probably I should go up time now, but I have to play with the meta play. Oh no, housed.
Bonjour.
That was the only thing I did not do well.
Fra. Y recoil.
Vos ordres. Y bouge du bois. Si. Y bouge du bois. Si. Y va. Y chasse. Fra.
Let's go up.
Bonjour. Y bouge du bois. Si.
Y chasse. Y recoil.
The mines have a very strong echo sieve too. It's no way it's gonna be easy. No way. And they're probably on the way to feudal. I'll be late.
Vos ordres. Y bouge du bois. Immédiatement. Y compreux. Y va. Y vai.
I need that.
Bati.
Vos ordres. Y
Bonjour.
recoil. Bonjour. Y va. Y bouge du bois. Vos ordres. Y comprends. Fra.
There are still 3 deers. I have to use all these.
Si. Fra.
Again, that doesn't mean a lot.
Vos ordres. Si. Y vai. Y bati.
Immédiatement. Pipi bouge du bord. I bâti. Si, pipi bouge du bord.
I know I should push the deer, but you know, I have to do 5 things at the same time.
Vos ordres. I mine.
Fra.
I chasse. Fra. Immédiatement.
It's kind of tough.
Bonjour.
I recorai. I chasse.
Fra. I bati. Vos
I
ordres.
chasse. Vos ordres. Fra. I compre. I bâti.
Si.
Si. I bâti.
Vos
I
ordres.
chasse.
Si. Fra. I bati.
Vos ordres. I mine.
Bonjour. Immédiatement. Bouge.
Si. I bouge du bord. Si. Compre. I bâti.
And it's difficult. Because I don't know what he's doing. Arena is the most favorite place for clown strategies. Especially when facing Smurfs, which could be the case considering the extreme difference of score.
Fra. I vai. Compre. Si. I mine. Fra. Si vai. I mine. Vos ordres. Immédiatement. I bouge du bord.
I mean, I know some is exploration score, but his Echo is just insane. His Echo is just too strong. He's producing eagles. This guy is producing a lot of eagles. Let him run.
Si. Vos
I got
ordres.
better ideas.
Bonjour.
Vos ordres. Fra. I mine. I bouge du bord. I bati. Bonjour.
I bâti.
Oh no, they have to go the other way around.
Si vai.
Si.
Ah, that I did not see.
Fra. I bati.
I did not see that.
Fra.
That's an opponent advantage, you know?
Bonjour.
Immédiatement.
Vos ordres.
No armors, I'll get him quickly.
Bonjour. I bâti.
Try to cancel my castle. That will not work.
Bonjour. I bati. Vos ordres.
Si.
Immédiatement.
Fra. Si.
Si. I va. I vai. Si. Vai.
Vos ordres. Bonjour. Si. I mine. Fra. Vos ordres. I bati. Bonjour. Vos ordres. I bati. I bati.
Vos ordres.
Let's make another TC.
Immédiatement. Ra. Si.
TC number 2.
I batti. Ra. I bouge du bois. Bonjour. I bouge du bois.
Might go for the other relics. Need to watch that. We'll buy ourselves some extra resources.
Si. Vosotros. Bonjour. I bouge du bois. Si. I vai. I batti. Ra. Vosotros. I bouge du bois. I batti. Si. I batti.
It's important to make town watch. We never know what is he doing.
Ra. Si. Bouge du bois. Bonjour. I batti. Ra. Immédiatement. I vai. I bouge du bois. Vosotros. I batti. Si. Immédiatement. I batti. Bonjour. I vai. I min. Vosotros. Immédiat. I bouge du bois. Si. I vai.
TC.
I batti.
Let's sell stone. First relic.
Ra. I batti.
Now we need to make
Si. I vai. I
barracks. Second relic. And we try to go for a boom. Doesn't mean we succeed, but we'll try.
Si. I batti.
Hey, where are you going? Okay, let's go for the farthest relic. And I'll get the closest instead here.
Ra. I compre. I bouge du bois. Bonjour. Immédiatement. I batti. Vosotros. Immédiatement. I compre. Min. Ra. Vosotros. Du bois.
Well, it could be worse.
Bonjour. Compre. I batti. Si. Immédiatement. I batti.
Man, they converted it. At least you will get a few relics then.
I min.
So be it.
Vosotros. I batti. Si. Bonjour. I batti. Bonjour. I batti. Vosotros. I batti. I batti. Bonjour, i bati. Vos ordres, i bati. Fra, i compre.
Oust.
I bati. Si vai, i bati, i bati.
Uh-oh. Finally, I recovered one.
Immédiatement. I bati. Vos
Vos
ordres.
ordres, i bati. Bonjour, i bati. Si, i bati. Fra, i bati. Bonjour, i bati.
Si. Bonjour. I bouge
Vos
du
ordres,
bois.
i bouge du bois. I compre, i bati. Vos ordres, i bati.
Vos ordres.
Let's go imp, and we'll go for a specific army,
Bonjour,
which is what? We don't have an army yet.
immédiatement. I bati.
Si. I bati. Bonjour. I bati.
Si. Fra,
Si.
si, si. I bouge du bois.
Let's buy wood,
Bonjour,
and we'll go for hand cannoneers.
i bati.
I think it makes sense.
Si.
Fra. Si compre. I bati.
Hand cannoneers. I need more wood. That's not good.
Fra, immédiatement. I bati. Vos ordres. Compre, i va. Bonjour, si, i bati.
Bonjour. I bati.
Ah! Can we spam the hand cannoneers still in time?
Vos ordres. Immédiatement. I bati.
Fra, i bati.
Bonjour. Si.
I'll try this.
Vos ordres. Immédiatement.
Bonjour, i vai. I bati.
Chemistry fast.
Vos ordres. Immédiatement. I bati.
Scorpions, why not?
Si. Fra. Bonjour, i mi. Vos ordres. Fra, i bouge du bois. I bati. I bati.
Bonjour. I bati. I bati. I bati.
Rats. What else? What else against this? Eagle warriors?
Si, i bati.
I won't have time. I won't have time to spend. Jesus Christ. That's a smurf. That's a smurf. He's going to delete the castle like that. That's a clown strategy, obviously.
Vos ordres. Si. Fra. I bati.
Bonjour, i bati.
I won't have time. This is... Look at the echo score of this guy. It's a clear smurf, man. This is a smurf account. Yeah, Eagle Wars, okay. Could be worse.
Bonjour.
And let's just do this. He's disconnecting me or what? He is. Okay, forcefully disconnection made by opponents. He disconnected me. So again, you have an exhibit of a cheater. You have an exhibit of a cheater. Forceful disconnection made by opponent. This is harassment. To steal our hero. That's a win game. That's a win game. And if you cannot see that, you're not just blind, you're hyper corrupt. Men or women alike. That is, if you're even a human being, because corrupt things are not even human beings. So let's just say, fifth game, forced disconnect. Forced disconnect. I'll just copy paste because it's the same thing over and over and over again. The name of this player, Magvay. It's not a player, it's just a scumbag hacker. And you already see the window saying you've been disconnected, but let's just wait. I want to do one thing first. Fifth game, second hacker. So we definitely have already substance. And for those who thought that we would only find 0 exhibits of forceful disconnections, we already have 2 situations where opponent forcefully disconnected us. And obviously I'm going to file separate reports for these later. That's cheating. Since the guy realized that we could come with cannons. Remember that as soon as we came with the bombard cannons, this opponent forcefully disconnected us. And that's how dirty this gameplay is going. I can't even play because a game where I'm about to fight or to give some dispute, it just trashes me out. So it's more like the opponent tries to fight me, and if he sees that I'll be a problem or a nuisance, he knocks me out of the game, steals my elo, and it's as if he would win the game by cheating. But not just cheating, he's harassing because he's stealing my elo by not having achieved any proper victory, just using subterfuges and hacking practices. It's obviously not acceptable, and I'll report this guy for this. I'm not sure my report reached that, the in-game report. Opponent forcefully disconnected me to cause a game loss for me. Stealing my elo. That's what he did. That's what he did. Let's ban this scumbag. 50% win rates, a few games played. I think this is a Smurf and a hacker, so it's the two of them. There you have. Exhibit number 2 already has 2 hackers. Now you cannot say that there are no hackers. We found 2 of them. Of course, they like to come here to just provoke, and I cannot choose if they come here or they don't. They just like to come here and provoke. Obviously, ban this player. And he has several other profiles. I believe that the people who are forcefully disconnecting me, either it could be, if not the same person, a group of people using the same kind of software devices. So come on, use your tools and track them. Track them and find out the identity of these scumbags, hiding behind the computer desktops or hiding behind keyboards because they think they're keyboard warriors, right? At least we already have 2 hackers found and 2 elo steals. And I'm sure my elo cannot climb, or actually can only climb down, because every time I play I get these scumbags. Indeed, it's not possible to rise. So you see spectacular games I do, and those spectacular games are just trashed by a 1 or 2 second hacker making scoundrel clicks. So if the hacker decides to come here after 20 or 30 minutes of game sweat and using a software malicious exploitation, he knocks me out of the game in just 2 seconds. Effortless, no sweaty, no nothing, and instant reward. Elo subtracted from me and elo for the transgressor. That doesn't sound nice, but that's what happens. We'll be doing another one just to see if we also get another transgressor. And that's already 2 of them have been found. Assuming those 2 profiles are not owned by the same person. Let's just ban arena in case we find this guy in arena again. No, using other of his profiles. These guys don't have just 1 or 2 profiles. That's the part I'm warning you. They probably have 3,300 or at least 30 profiles. They don't need to be called the same thing. You just call like 20 profiles, you call them xY. And the remaining 20 profiles, you call them ZX. That's it. Of course, it's different. The name is different. That means it's a different person, right? No, not necessarily. We still did not get disconnected, as you can see. And as a general practice, we don't disconnect from games, and we don't alt-tab or close the game. So if something abnormal happens, it's because opponent or someone third party just did something malicious and used the hacking practice. At least I'm happy that I found 2 of them, because probably some were already like thinking that, nah, he's not going to get any hackers, he's just pretending that his elo is being stolen, and we can't see any games where he has effectively been stolen. And the thing is, well, you actually have two instances and two cases where I was stolen. Strangely, now I cannot find party. Well, guess what? Someone knocked me out, right? Concerning other contents which we might produce this week, we'll be probably could be switching to Dota 2. I don't say that today we could do it, but if we do, it will be like shorter, 2 matches, and that's it. Like, not a very long deal. Oh, I forgot to say, sixth game about to start. Sixth game about to start. 2 elo steals due to forced disconnections so far. Let's see if we have a game or a clown game. Well, for the name, it already sounds a clown name. So expect things that don't go normal. And I tell you, the previous opponent was a coward. He was a coward to forcefully disconnect us. If you can't win us in good, you disconnect us. That should automatically warrant the ban of that player from the game. And I don't mean the profile, the player. And I think it should be signaled as well as, criminal activities online. Because if you're acting like a felon, if you're stealing the property of others, and yes, I consider elo to be my property, that's theft. That's theft. You're stealing. An elo steal is a property steal because elo is personal. If the elo is personal and if you steal it, that's theft. Of course, it's not a tangible property. For those who think, well, what the word tangible is. Tangible means it's not perceivable, as a material thing. It's not physique. You don't touch it. You perceive it. It's like, for example, an asset. An asset can be a computer, it can be something physical, a house, it can be a board, you know, a painter's board, stamps, and, you know, cars, planes. But that's not just it. It can be trademarks, it can be royalties, fees, and you don't touch royalties. You don't see, oh, this thing I'm touching is royalty now. It exists and it is something of value. That's an asset. Well, in a similar ways, ELO is also an intangible asset. It's my property. And if you steal it, I'm coming for you. No mill yet. Okay, let's make a mill. Oh, accidentally make a second mill. Beware of the so-called normal scores, because a player can actually appear to be a normal player and it's a hacker. Don't fall for tricks. I've seen many. I don't say I've fallen for tricks. I just say don't fall for tricks. Of course, I have not fallen for tricks. Especially cheap coward tricks. And even those who are elaborate, I don't fall for that. Okay, I found him. Berbers is a tough civ. It's a tough civ. If you see strange lagging taking place in real time, and when I say strange lagging, no, it's not this, it's not backstreet dance, it's not dubstep, I don't know what's that thing called. When you see like the villagers not moving in real time, and like their movements are like in a traffic jam way, that's because opponent is forcefully lagging us. And remember, our internet connection has always been working fine. Still have not found another relic. Oh. Oops. To make a TC, we will need additional wood. Oh no, I confused myself. I thought it was the Mongols. I'm the Berbers. I apologize for the confusion. It happens. Also due to other in real life things. But don't get mistaken. We already were forcefully disconnected 2 times by opponents. not as a result of our actions. No mixing of things. When we talk about apples, we don't talk about bananas, we don't talk about pears. And when we talk about melons, we don't talk about lemons. So yeah, we separate things. This is abstract, but you understand what I mean. What the heck is this guy doing? Playing for the castle drop? What? Oh, I need so much wood for this. That's unfortunate. I bet opponent knows the relics. So much food, but too little wood. Got him. Now let's make this. Two little gold miners. I need to change this. Let's just sell for the eco balance. House is not in the placement I'd like it. See, I don't have that much time more. I have some time, but it's not that spectacular. And here, I realize that I don't have any further relics. And what if opponent already knows where the relics are? Keep watching for any strange behavior, because the name of this profile is definitely suspicious. Second relic.
Here? Azul. Ayatab. Abnay.
Trying to boom. Do many things at the same time. Still, I can do useful things, you know, like this. Oh, I forgot that. I thought I had this upgrade. I like booming. And let's see if we can make that. Pressing for boom would be the ideal strategy. Camping. Hope it's not late. Monks. He's trying to disconnect us. I'll pause him. You're lagging. Stop lagging. It's already a warning. I'm reporting again. You're making me lag. You're making me lag, buddy. I wasn't lagging until now. Stop and play. Don't cheat. So I do report him for forceful lagging. Forceful lagging in game instigated by opponents. can't play in real time, and obviously stop pinging me. He's pinging me, man.
Lek van már.
Obviously, he disconnected me. So again, sixth game, sixth elo steal. Hacker by hacker. I actually copied the same thing. So this is the third hacker. Sixth game, third hacker. You see how he was coward in trying to say, oh, sorry. He's not sorry, otherwise he would not do it. He'll be sorry for what he did. I guarantee that. I'm just waiting. Yeah, disconnected me. Cowards. I already guarantee that he disconnected me, and you know, that's exactly why I cannot rise. And this is the exhibit of the extreme harassment I've been subjected to in game by deliberate hackers. They know exactly what they're doing. This has been happening non-stop for better, hyper non-stop since the past week. And he was not making any military units. Definitely, this player deliberately wanted to forcefully disconnect us and steal our game elo. And he steals our game elo. Again, this is a very fresh profile. A smurf or a hacker creates a profile to deliberately rob and steal the elo of opponents they don't want to rise. And you can see the chat, what he did. I'm being just, we advance to feudal age. And here, I say you're lagging. He was the one making me lag. That's what I meant. He says sorry. You're not sorry, otherwise you would not forcefully lag me. And then I say, you're making me lag, buddy. I wasn't lagging until now. Stop and play. Don't cheat. When I say don't cheat, is that don't force your opponents to forcefully lag, and don't forcefully disconnect him. And he says cheat. More evident than this, after what took place? No military units? Are you going to tell me that this game was legitimate and fair? Are you going to say to me that this guy deserved the elo? No, the elo should be attributed to me. And I think, guys, this is just my opinion. There should be reviews. There should be reviews of games every time there is an automatic win up or lose down. Because if some opponent suddenly gets disconnected because if a player gets suddenly disconnected as a result of forceful disconnection done through software hacking by other player, not only in the case since I was the one who was hacked, the elo should be attributed to the hacked player, but the hacker should be referenced for criminal, for criminal liability. This is criminal liability because you're stealing the property that is the elo of a player. And I keep saying elo steal. Elo steal is crime, is stealing. For some of you, you think that elo stealing through forcefully disconnecting your opponents or forcefully kicking them out of the game is just a normal practice. It's not a normal practice. It's not even a normal practice. It's a criminal practice, and it is criminally liable because you're stealing. You're not just rigging the game, you're stealing like an intangible asset of someone else. It's theft. It's just theft. But there's scoundrel in the internet, and we need to act about it. And these videos are just a warning about the kinds of scumbags that we have allowed, that society has allowed to grow in internet. And now we're going after them. The question is not going after them, is how have we allowed this dark, no-law space where everything and anything is allowed? And I tell you, who is this hacker? A hacker acting solo? A hacker being paid by a proxy country who is using cyber activities to attack and target the actions of players or the actions of streamers or of gamers they want to disrupt? All these questions I would like to have answered. And it's good that we make questions, because if you're making questions, that means something has happened. We're not going to refrain from making questions as a result of the 3 evil steals we've been subjected. And that's it for the exhibit number 2. Very complete, very accurate, and very straightforward. It will be posted on YouTube, publicly visible forever, so that people know that I was stolen, and it should not happen, and that Ao2 is currently very vulnerable to security threats, because any hacker can come by, attack, and harass a player, and it's just not acceptable. So the solution for this is very simple. Every time there is a situation like this, Elo should be reviewed. Elo should be reviewed, and I will not be asking the Elo of players, and I will not be valuing people who attribute a specific value to Elo, because if Elo is being rigged, then I'm not going to respect a rigged score. Those whose Elo is rigged up, because mine has been rigged down, I will also not respect them. I will only start to respect the community and everything if I'm allowed to play games. If you're saying to me that it's okay to harass me and target me, it's not okay. I expose the harassment I've been subjected to, because probably you would not believe it. You would just see okay, his elo has dropped. So if he has dropped, it means he's not playing well. No. My elo has been forcefully dropped. My elo has been intentionally, deliberately, and is being intentionally being attacked by hackers, which I suspect that are being paid by certain proxy countries. I don't believe that hackers are, just online and hacking for free. They're acting under instructions. They're acting under a chain of command, whoever and wherever they are, and they should be accountable. Like, I cannot change the scumbaggery of this game, but at least I can post that this is guaranteed a Smurf account and a hacking account. It's a fresh account. 30 games is no way to say this is a different new account. It's just, it's not a player who has been playing this the whole time. Or if he has playing, he has other profiles. And I'll say your specific harassment file issue. If I say opponent deliberately made us lag in game and forcefully disconnected us subsequently, stealing our forcing a loss for us on my profile, and an artificial yellow steal and an yellow steal. Done. I mean, it's legitimate. I'm not going to be silent. You bully, you trash me, I will counter-attack. You attack me, I will counter-attack. Eye for eye, tooth for 2. That's my mercy. And it'll be interesting to know whose countries are behind these hacking scumbags. If they're not acting solo, or if they're acting paid or under instructions, who are these guys? Yeah, it'll be interesting to know if we have a room full of 300 hackers whose main job from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. is to just snipe on profiles or players they want to attack and to rob them of elo, creating economic damage on the players and on the gaming platforms. And this is just not okay. It's 2024. This is unacceptable. This is outrageous. This is insulting. This is baffling. And for me, this is criminal activities. Anyone who engages in forcefully disconnecting a player, a person from a game, should be warranted criminal liability. And you should be prosecuted wherever you are. I don't care if you're whatever country or island or no country you are, you should be liable to get prosecuted everywhere, in every jurisdiction. Because you're stealing property. You're like a pirate. And okay, that's it for the exhibit number 2. I did this specifically for the purpose of gathering more evidence and, to just discredit all those players, like even before there was the smurfing issue like 2 years ago, and I spoke about it. I was constantly bullied that smurfing was rare, and it was not the case. It was just, to having seen on forums smurf profiles just commenting that smurf is rare or doesn't happen, that's disgusting. The problem is there is no credibility of the people making comments in the forums. If the people who are commenting on the forums are themselves hyper corrupt, then the discussion becomes useless. You can only discuss if there is clearness in certain topics. And at the time, it was just a smurfing issue. It was not the forceful disconnections. This is already a step above. And I'm just warning that this is what's happening, that I'm not complicit. I'm not allowing this. You should, if you don't agree with these practices, I advise you to, spread out the videos. That's, making these exhibits is a way for me to fight the very people, the very scumbags who are not even giving me a fair chance or a fair opportunity, who are just trashing me every single time and harassing me every single time. And I think that the least you can do, if you don't approve of what I've been subjected, is to either spread or the videos or follow, do any sort of interaction. That's not much to ask. Because at least I take the courage of speaking out what's wrong and addressing the issue straightforward. And I don't care if this doesn't happen to any other player, and if I'm the only one who is being as targeted and as intensively targeted. I will not be silent. I will not be silent. And I will be posting this. These are staying. These are YouTube videos that will stay and that will always hunt down the memories of those who think that either cheating through smurfing or cheating through forceful disconnection of opponents is acceptable, or forceful lagging of opponents is acceptable. This will stay always there. You will not be able to take that down, and that's my weapon against the scoundrel who are attacking me. And that's how we end the stream. We will be posting the specific legend, the specific description of the videos. just like in the previous first instant, and this time we don't have those black transparency issues. That's the difference. So I will see you later. We're not done with this, and if you don't like our work, well, I tell you, I also don't like cheaters, and I actually hate cheaters much more. So I'm continuing with this. I have no conscience problems. I'm guilt-free of what I do, and I intend to continue doing exactly these things I do.